Hey you guys, Game of Thrones Season 7 is just about to wrap up, and I figured it's about time that I print my own Iron Throne. I wonder who's going to be sitting on the throne by the end of this video. Make sure to stay tuned to find out. Alright, so here is the finished 3D printed piece. This is straight off the print bed. I've removed all of the supports, and then I applied a little bit of heat from a heat gun, and that helped reduce some of the stringing that you saw here. I'm not going to coat this with XTC 3D. I'm not really too worried about getting the layer lines all out of this. Even though it's a relatively big prop, I don't think it's going to be something that people are going to really see the layer lines. I could be completely wrong once I get this thing painted. But I wanted to share it with you guys before I go off and paint it. I'm just loving the color of this with this light blue, light blue. It's light purple. I don't know what I'm thinking here. PLA from Zyltech. It just came out really, really nice. Printed this over on the CR10 as well. So the next steps here, I'm gonna get a layer of primer filler over on this and then start painting it. And in fact, I think I'm gonna use my airbrush kit to actually paint this. We'll see. This could be an absolute disaster. Well, it really could. Here is the finished Game of Thrones Iron Throne replica prop. You can get this file over on Thingiverse. Spirit 00 is the one that remixed this from the Revenant, I believe his name was, or Revenant is the original user that created the throne, and Spirit 00 wanted a different base to the throne. I mean, I've seen a number of different versions of the throne and just the throne, but as soon as I saw this, it was, yeah, I knew I had to print this thing. It looked really, really cool. Here you can still see I have the purple filament on the bottom. I have done, other than just painting this and applying some primer filler to it, I did not apply XTC 3D. I didn't sand this at all. It pretty much came straight off the print bed after printing for, I think it was 42 hours at 0.2mm layer height. And I printed this at 10% infill, if I remember correctly. And yeah, this thing came out really, really nice. I also busted out and used my airbrush kit for the very first time. I have no idea what I'm doing. I watched a few YouTube videos. I need to practice with this thing. But I think that the results came out really nice. And what I ended up doing as well is after I had airbrushed it a bit, I went back over to my workbench and just applied some of my dry brush technique of acrylic paint, which is basically you just get a very small amount of acrylic paint on your paintbrush where it's dry. It's not even really wet, and you're just kind of brushing it on. You're very lightly misting some of the pieces. So that's how I got some of the gold or bronze effect here for the pieces of the sword, the butts of the sword, the hilts, I believe is the proper term. And then I also went in and did the base, the stone portion, so that it just wasn't black or gray. I added some browns, a little bit of red and brown, a little bit of yellow and brown, mixed all in. Actually, I think I even did a few spots of green. So it's very natural looking. It's nothing's shooting way out there in terms of colors. But I think this came out excellent, excellent. And again, it sits at 8 inches tall here. This was printed on the CR10 as well, using Zyltech PLA. and I can't be happier with how this turned out. So spoiler alerts, I found out who's going to be sitting on the throne when the show ends, and it's a shocker, an absolute shocker. It is none other than Pickle Rick! Pickle Rick! Did I plan this perfectly, that I'd be able to put Pickle Rick in the Iron Throne? I mean, in the back of my mind, I knew that it would be scaled just about right for Pickle Rick to sit on that bad boy. And I figured this is the chair and throne that he deserves. It's his rightful, he's the rightful heir to the Iron Throne, if I remember correctly. Was there not a Rick and Morty episode around that? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Hey, thanks again for watching, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you're interested in printing your own Iron Throne, I've got links down below to Thingiverse where you can get this exact file that I printed here. If you're interested in picking up the CR10, I also have links down below. This is now officially my go-to printer of choice. I can't stop printing on this machine. But yeah, I'm super excited. The season finale's tomorrow, and can't wait to see what happens. No spoilers here or anything like that from me, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, just want to say thanks again for watching, you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye now. But this Iron Throne file is really friggin' cool. It's even got great detail on the back of the throne. I mean, this thing just really kicks ass. Look at that. The build platform for it to sit on. It's just not the throne. I mean, you can't just print a throne. You gotta have a place for the throne to sit on.